Today we're going to be talking about probably the worst student I've ever had. The reason why I'm gonna tell you this story is not to shit all over the guy. It's specifically to, number one, get everybody who's watching this video to not start my program if you agree with him. Because I don't want you as a student. And number two, I truly believe there's tons of really valuable things to learn inside of this story, because showcasing the worst student ever is gonna teach you on how to actually become a really good student. So without further ado, let's get started with the story. Let's call this guy Martin. It's not his real name, but let's call him Martin. Martin joins the program around 1.5 months ago. As soon as he starts with the program, it starts out by him asking a bunch of questions which are completely relevant to his situation. Just so you have the context, we onboarded him as a TikTok organic student, meaning that he needs to film a bunch of videos. We took this route with him specifically because he had a bunch of time, and also he had some experience in the film production industry, which would definitely make everything easier. However, the first impression I have gotten was that he had a bunch of ideas what to do to get out of the main strategy and improve the strategy which we want to teach him, and basically make everything better and do everything by himself. And I constantly had to remind him to do the strategy like we tell you without implementing any personal ideas. So his very first idea was to hire A-list celebrities and do profit shares with them, where he's basically gonna get a cut of them promoting the product, and he basically doesn't pay them up front, but just a cut of their profits. Then he started to complain on why I didn't unlock the module of how to create a store. Just for context, in the beginning, you don't need to create a store. Before you selected a product, before you filmed videos, before you went viral, you don't need a store at all. Why? Because you're not gonna make sales. As long as you don't have the skill of going viral, don't even focus on anything which is coming conversions. Just find products, order them, start filming them, and if we see potential in your videos that it might actually blow up, then you can start building the store so you don't lose out on money when it blows up. Also, like everybody in the program, you need to make a sheet with 30 products and show them to us, and we tell you which ones are good and which ones are bad. He made a list of 30 products, 4 of them actually were pretty good, and he was super shocked about that there was only 4, and he was 100% convinced that the other ones are also good, and he was basically complaining about all of those things constantly. Now, the very first time I had to make a reality check was this voice message. Let me play it. Also, let's play it on double speed.
All right, listen, man. There's a bunch of things here which you're saying, which are just so off, which you don't understand. You don't see it, but I've been in this situation like hundreds of times, seen hundreds of people do well, a bunch of people also not do well. If you just try to put your ego 100% aside and just listen to what I'm saying, okay? The questions you're asking me are not relevant. How to set up your Shopify store. I know you think it's relevant, but it is not relevant right now. It's not the first step, okay? So you're like 100% of your attention needs to go into product research and then filming, nothing else. If you want feedback about the product, sure, that's what the calls are for, no problem. But it doesn't work the other way. You think you're skipping steps, and you think you already are credible enough to skip steps because you have like a career in videography or filmmaking or whatever. If you didn't make 6 or 7 figures with dropshipping, you are a dropshipping beginner. And you need to understand that and be fine with that, and also understand that I'm treating you like a beginner, because you are. I've seen a bunch of filmmakers who try to take organic, and it doesn't transfer one-to-one. You still need to learn the new skill. And even if it's not you, but your filmmaker friend, still they're gonna need to learn a new skill. It's not the same skill, because it's a completely new stuff. And we can see that with you picking the products. If you would have picked products where 30 out of 30 or at least 15 would have been good, sure, now you have my attention. Now I know, all right, you're thinking in the right direction. Because you think in the wrong direction, you're gonna do the same thing with the videos, and it's gonna fail, okay? So that's why I'm pushing you to go in the right direction. Don't have a problem if you want to be out of the program, no problem. It's not a problem at all. And also, if like the thing you're paying here in the program in reality is getting reality checks, like getting the things, like putting the priorities in place and understanding what is important and what's not. That's the main thing what you're gonna get in this program. And you're just expecting me to do basically the exact opposite, like just telling you, all right, do what you want, we're just gonna follow your system, that's it.
We're gonna get to the part where he completely flips out in a second. But before that, I wanna talk about this. In our program, we will only answer relevant things. If you ask me how to scale your 6-figure store to a 7-figure store without having a 6-figure store, I refuse to answer that question, because I know you're wasting your time. I'm not here to entertain you. I'm not here to go through some theoretical scenario. I'm here to teach you how to make money. And you're not gonna make money if you think about irrelevant things. Most of the guys who actually start making money, they start seeing in retrospect why I'm doing the things like I'm doing them. Everything we're generally doing is for a reason. We tested it a bunch of ways. It didn't work. This is how it works the best. That's why we do it. If I, for example, tell you, start with a product on TikTok Organic that is not gonna convert. It's not about conversions. The step 1 is just learning how to go viral. Step 2 is converting. That means if you're starting out, you don't have to have a Shopify store. You don't have to convert. You just need to learn how to go viral. And the second step is the next one. Now, if you wanna skip steps, do whatever. But I'm telling you, it's not gonna work faster. Let's get back to the chat and just grab some popcorn and let me read the chat, because this is gonna be amazing. So it started very harmless with him basically trying to critique my program, which is not a problem at all. If you are inside of my program, sure. If you are inside of my program, please go for it. Tell me what's wrong with it. And if I see a valid point, I'm definitely going to change it and listen to you. Now, let's go through the chat. I understand your program better now, but what is missing is an overview of the process at the very beginning. People who know what is coming up accept the process way easier than with a trust me. The whole dropshipping ecosystem on YouTube is overwhelming and creates a lot of anxiety. Reassurance is key and visibility as well. Now, first of all, I understand this point. I agree that there needs to be an overview, and we have one. I don't know if you missed it or whatever, but I have like a full 1 hour Zoom call where I go through the overview of a TikTok organic process. Now, after I'm gonna play my voice message, the next answer he's gonna give is the biggest plot twist in history. So let's get started.
There is an overview. Just check the very beginning of the TikTok organic module. In theory, one of the first 4 videos is a full 1 hour call with me where I go step by step what the entire process looks like. And the trust me thing is the correct way to approach it. I make more money. That means that I decide what we do. It's as simple as that. Like, this is how you should think, and that's also how I think. If somebody makes more money than me, I listen to them when it comes to business.
All right, so that was the statement. If I make more money than you, you listen to me when it comes to money. Very simple. Now, of course, there are some loopholes, and if you win the lottery, you should still not listen to the person, but you get the point. Let's read his answer. That's an awful statement. Despicable and unfriendly. Listening to people who only make more money than you. Ridiculous. So many idiots make a lot of money. Anyways, my remark was well-intentioned. Your answer is the one of a perfect asshole. I thought you were Jewish, but you just have the name. You lost all your values. All right. So what happens here is he basically completely loses it, gets emotional, starts insulting me, and his ego gets in his way of listening to the expert. If you personally, just think about it, get, let's say, a chess coach, are you gonna tell him that he is wrong about anything? No, because he's right. You don't know anything about chess, means if it comes to chess, you listen to him. In every single area of life, this is the case. However, when it comes to money, there's this magic shift and you instantly sound like an asshole if you say that a person has to do what you tell them. Let's listen to my answer.
Yes, it makes a huge difference. It just when it comes to money is the only moment ever when people think that it's different than anywhere else. Again, think in every other term, like piano, psychology, every other field. They know more than you, so you listen to them. They don't listen to you. It's as simple as that. It's the same exact thing with money. I made more money than you in this field, so you need to listen to me, and I don't listen to you. It's very, very simple. The only problem comes when you just have like a too big ego. And I mean, just like calling me an asshole and I thought you were Jewish, but you lost your name. I mean, I don't take that stuff personal, but I don't know if you see that or not. But yeah, I feel like this whole thing's not going to be working. So I'm going to talk to the other guys, but you're probably out.
But generally for everybody, try to not be emotional with your actions at all, ever. Whenever you are emotionally loaded and you understand right now, I have an emotional breakdown, I need to say X, don't say it. If you talk to the Facebook support who just blocked you and you start screaming at them, or you talk to your supplier because he fucked up, or whoever, don't get emotional. And if you are emotional, stop and wait until you calm down. This is a very important point in life, but let's listen to his response. You totally missed the point. I never questioned your competence, but your onboarding videos are not at the same level as the other videos you have online. It doesn't pay tribute to the program. That's all I tried to say. Basically, what he was referring to, the overview video, which is a Zoom call. So it's not a professional camera like here, it's a Zoom call.
I understand that point, but you don't understand what the point of the videos are. The point is not to make perfect video quality or whatever it is. A Zoom call is enough because the only thing I care about is that you do what we tell you, so you get results. Doesn't matter how my video camera looks. And instead of listening to me and taking criticism, you basically start insulting me. So that is my point. My point is you need to listen to me, and the trust me approach is the correct one because you need to trust a person who knows more about a certain topic than you. It's very simple.
So again, just to make this point clear, if you want to start with my program, it doesn't make sense for you to start if your ego is in your way. If you think to know everything better and you're not going to apply what I'm going to tell you, I'm going to stop telling you things in general. It doesn't make sense. If I see you don't take my advice, it doesn't make sense. So here again, he tries to get back to the criticism point, but in general, nobody's gonna ever listen to you again after you start insulting them or after you get emotional. Whenever you get emotional, you instantly lose all the credibility and you're not a trustworthy source anymore. Whenever you flip, anything which comes after is not constructive anymore. So he basically tries to say, all right, your answer was out of place, mine was 2, I apologize, but I think you missed the point, it's whatever. And I think this is gonna be the last message I'm gonna play you, but I think this sums up the entire point very, very well.
No, my answer was not out of place. You don't listen to me, and you basically tell me that my trust me approach is wrong, which it's not. I just told you that you need to listen to me and trust me if I make more money, and you are here, you paid me to get money advice. Like, just listen to my voice message again and think about it. Don't get emotional like you would normally do, but actually just think about it. And you're gonna hear, I say, the person who makes more money is credible to give money advice. The person who doesn't make any money is not credible to give money advice. So because we're talking about money here, I am the person who gives the advice. And that's why you paid me for my advice. So my answer was not out of place. Your answer is calling me an asshole, an idiot, and some weird Jewish thing. Like, you understand the difference? And also, now you try to like put it back to everything is normal, and I'm just here to give you constructive advice. But like, I don't listen to you anymore because you just insulted me. So I literally stopped taking you serious. The respect goes down. So yeah, the problem in general is that you're being way too emotional about everything, and that stops you from doing the rational thing and listening to a person who makes more money when it comes to money. And also, you get emotional when you understand that I have the authority here, and then you understand, wait, that cannot be true. I am this big shot or whatever, and you start basically insulting me. So yeah, it's like obviously it doesn't work that way, and the relationship will not continue again.
So what's the main point of this entire video? It is that if you join the program, you must listen to me and the team. That's the only thing that matters. And that's the deciding factor within a good or a bad student. If you take the top students, they apply perfectly what I tell them, what my team tells them, and also they do it in a really fast and timely manner. And the most interesting thing about this is that I'm not the only person noticing this. If you listen to, for example, Mikey again, he's gonna tell you the exact same thing.
At the end of the day, Michael is always right. That's how it always ends up. It's weird, but it always ends up that way. So when Michael says something and you have some doubts here and there, you can't have your doubts, but just do what he says. Keep doing it.
Don't think. Just do what we tell you. Don't question it.
God.
Don't question it. Just please do it, because you have no clue what you are doing. You don't know what's good, what's bad, what's relevant, what's irrelevant. Do what I tell you. Do what my team tells you, and you're gonna make money. That's it. That's it. So
Don't think. Just do.
don't think. Just click on the link below. Sign up for a call with us.
Son of
Talk to you very soon.